Since African Americans are at the top of the list for most diseases, including cancer, can we talk a little bit today about our African heritage and talk about how did we eat before slavery?
Well, before slavery and colonialism, we had a balanced diet. We ate green things in the morning, green food. We ate starches and greens and proteins. But now we're on to a diet that's strictly, with the major content of it is starch. And the starch is in the form of cereals or pancakes or pizza or cake, candy, all that starch. And so we're on a highly starch-centered diet. And eating that large amount of starch causes bone deformities, infertility, the teeth chip in the jaw, and people have to wear braces, causes hair loss. It's a tremendous amount of starch, which requires a tremendous amount of insulin. So this starch-centered diet was a lot of problems with the slaves. So the primary thing that all of African people were put on was a starch-centered diet and a lot of fats. They even bought fats, called it fat back. Because during slavery, they believed that the food that caused them to get the most labor out of the slaves was starches and fats, so they put fat in everything. Fats in the greens, fried foods, just to keep our oils going, because they knew that the protein wasn't giving us the energy to work, it was the fats. So we had a fat and starch in the diet, which caused our health to deteriorate and caused the need for doctors to be contracted on slave plantations because of this highly intensive starch-centered diet. It's very devastating.
Okay. Well, how did we practice medicine before slavery when we were eating the correct type of diet?
Well, before slavery, we were basically on what people call today health food, organic food. And our medicine was herbal medicine. We weren't using synthetic chemicals, which we call poisons, which are defined today as drugs. We weren't using that as medicine. We were using herbs, natural things that God made to remedy our ailments, whatever they were. And our diet was our primary medicine. Our food was our medicine, and our medicine was our food.
Okay.
And so we had that kind of understanding about our bodies and about what to eat, why to eat, and when to eat. We weren't eating late, eating when we're stressed, eating on the run. We took time out and had communion with God, said a prayer, and took our time to eat food. But now we're just into this whole fast pace of eating and not properly chewing our food, and this causes the body to be in a stress condition. Eventually you want to get away from salt, but for now we mix half sea salt with regular table salt.
Okay.
We do that for maybe 6 months to a year, and then we go all the way over to the sea salt.
Okay.
We're just going gradual. I'm used to frying food. It's not good to fry food. Say, okay, I'm used to frying food, so I'm going to switch to olive oil or canola oil and fry my food in that. They're less harmful. So I can eventually get away from frying food. But right now, let me go here first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And
Soy hamburgers, chicken, turkey, bologna. They have rice, cheese. There's a lot of what we call crossover foods, so they really wouldn't have that much of a challenge. The children have is one of the leading cause of death for them. They have prostate cancer, they have breast cancer. It's an alarming rate.
If a person changes their lifestyle where they are eating differently and taking the different herbs, how long does this process take to reverse itself?
Well, you're probably looking at about 6 months to a year, something like that, to get the body back on track. The body has to get used to this stuff and say, wait a minute, I've been eating white rice and bleached white flour so long, and it kind of tastes good to me. Now you want to eat this brown rice and whole wheat? And no, I'm not used to this. So the person's taste buds will say, nah, this don't taste too good. So they have to get used to the taste of the food, which is real food instead of synthetic food. And that's mostly the big challenge, getting used to something that tastes alive, the real food. I think that's probably the biggest challenge for most people. It's this a pill mentality we live in. We want a pill for everything, a pill for this.
I'm saying that we are suffering because as a people, we are the most identical in terms of DNA to the Most High. So the Most High told us what we're supposed to eat. He said, you are my people, right? And I want you to be separate from all other people, right? This is what I'm going to give you for food. The food is your food. Because we're going against a command or a declaration or a promise or a covenant with the Most High is why we're suffering. Everybody eating the same shit. We all eating McDonald's. We all eating all peoples, right? And we would like to say that, you know, maybe these peoples eat a little bit better than us. And they probably do, because they're probably eating their cultural palate, right? Caucasians are eating their cultural palate because they could probably handle meat a little bit better than we can because they have more acid in their stomach. But we as a chosen people have not evolved to be able to do that. Okay? So when we go outside of eating what our cultural palate is, we're going to get more sick than anybody else. Like I said, we're eating other people's culture, but not the cultural palate of the Most High, which is fruit. Very simple. Nature tells us what a carnivore is. And we can see that a carnivore is not us, right? They on all fours. They go and run and catch their food, and they're able to bite from flesh to bone and rip it right off. Their carnivores are different. You know, our teeth are not shaped like that. Their digestive tract is different. It's shorter, smaller. And you know when they eat, they laze around for the rest of the day. They eat a lot, but they laze around for the rest of the day. We are constantly doing what? We're constantly moving all the time. So it don't even make sense that we're doing what we're doing. Well, we don't see it that way because we were taught to do this foolishness. And then the consequences is that our bodies, our organs in the bodies are all shutting down, going offline. We are literally walking into the proverbial lake of fire, which is the metabolic acidosis that's occurring in our body, and it's eating away at our organs, and it's eating away at the blood vessels, and it's eating away at the cells, because the body is shutting down. This is why we're suffering, because we are out of order, we are out of alignment, and we've lost the ability to comprehend what the Most High is saying to us. Very simply, the mitochondria says, I want fructose. This is what I want. Give this to me. But we go, oh, this is just a garnish. Give me the pork chops, the sauce, the pig's feet, you know what I'm saying, the fried chicken, lemon pepper.
Jerusalem reside here. We've been residing in this particular location since 1980. We've been in the country residing since 68. And 69, we had the largest groups beginning to come, of amounting to about 145 souls between 69 and 70. And they were pushed into the interior of Israel, into Arad and Dimona especially. So we've been literally in the city of Dimona since 1969. And we outgrew the apartment complex that we were living in. This space here is a public park. This is literally a public park. We have Israeli Public High School over there. So we always have visitors moving through and from.
You guys eat vegan food, right?
Plant-based, definitely.
Plant-based, so it's all vegan.
Yes.
That's really exciting.
So all the children going to the school from birth. Actually, this week is Sugarless Week.
Sugarless?
So this week we experience every quarter. We have a week of sugarless food, so there's no sugar in the food.
Wow.
And if we are to use anything to sweeten, we will use maple syrup, we will use stevia, and we will not cook with it. We just put it on afterwards. So this is part of our quest to stem illnesses.
And where does the practice of like plant-based foods come from? Is that something from the Bible, from the Old Testament?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Genesis 1:29.
What does it say?
It says that for us, all herbs, plants are given to us for food to eat. Period. So we take that and we manifest it.
That's beautiful.
Until I landed in this unique village, where 4,000 people live in the middle of the desert in Israel. But unlike me, these people are very careful with their food. Pay attention to this. This village eats zero meat. No meat, no dairy products or chemical additives.
Only vegan food.
They don't eat salt 3 days a week and don't eat any sugar 4 weeks a year.
Zero sugar.
They exercise 3 times a week. They have a mandatory massage every month, and they do not smoke or drink alcohol. Absolutely everything they put in their body is made of plants.
We understand that in order to maintain a lengthy, healthy, optimal, vital lifestyle, we would only be able to put noble foods in our bodies, in these temples that we call it.
Instead of chicken, they make seitan. Instead of hamburgers, they eat rice patties. And instead of ice cream, they have soy milk. When was the last time you drank milk?
1991.
When was the last time you ate meat?
1983.
And this vegan diet is working. Because according to studies, this village is one of the healthiest in Israel, with very few cases of obesity or heart attacks. And when you walk around the village, you see many elderly people looking young and fun. Some of them are 99 years old.
73.
69.
82 years young.
And it gets even more interesting. Because these people believe with 100% certainty that because of their diet, they will live forever.
Absolutely!
These are the Hebrew Israelites of Jerusalem. It's a spiritual community that believes in the Bible. And according to the Bible, in Genesis 1:29, it says,
And Yah said, Behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for food.
but regardless of religion, this community has something special. Thousands of them believe that their body is a temple. It should be clean, it should be healthy, and they do their absolute best to preserve it. This is why everyone should see this. These people are stronger, healthier, and live longer. And if that's what it takes to do that, then maybe it's time to put down the meat, put down the sugar and the candy, and pick up a new diet.
So how is it the chosen people of the Most High, a special people, a holy people that was set apart from all other nations of people to be given law, statutes, and commandments to live the best life, why is it them very people, which is the Israelites, have the worst diet in the world? And so-called blacks lead in sickness and disease. They lead in heart attack, stroke, diabetes, kidney failure, liver failure, cardiovascular disease, strokes, and all these diseases are affected by your diet. Every disease I name is affected by your diet, the very thing that you put into your body. See, it's very important that we don't take for granted our temples, our vessels that the Most High have lent to us, because our body is not our own, and we know that. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 16 through 17. It says, Know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh, and that the Spirit of Yahweh dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of Yahweh, him shall God destroy. For the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. So the children of Israel, your temple is the Most High's. It's not yours. And if you destroy your body in such a way where you're abusing it, you're putting all these abominable foods in it, crab, lobster, shrimp, catfish, all the bottom feeders, all them abominable foods that we're not supposed to be taking. These are the foods that's leading and causing these sickness and diseases within our body. If you ever go to the doctor, they always ask, well, do your family have a history of diabetes, heart disease, strokes, high blood pressure? All those have to do with your diet. All those have to do with the things that you're putting into your temple. And then drinking excessively, smoking, all these things are not good for your temple. So the Most High, He gave us herb for meat. We have to have self-control and learn moderation. America has a spirit that push you to eat as much as you want to eat whatever you want to eat, when you want to eat it, not to work out or exercise or take care of your temple at all. That's why obesity is so high in America. But we, as the children of the Most High, as the children of Israel, we have to take our diets and our lifestyle when it comes to our choices of food and the things that we decide to put in our body, make sure that it's medicine for your body. And when I say it's medicine, you know, the Most High, he gave us the herb for meat. He gave us the herb for healing. He gave us the herb for many things, you see. So don't solely depend on processed foods, because it's got a lot of preservatives. It's got a lot of chemicals and stuff in there that is really not good for your body, that's also contributing to sickness and diseases. This is Genesis 1:29, and God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed, to you it shall be meat. So we can't disregard that. Let's not be foolish children of the Most High, but let's be wise children of the Most High and really consider the things that we're putting in our body. Increase our fruits, our vegetable intake. Make sure that you're getting the essential vitamins and essential minerals that you need in your body to sustain you, because the things that we're eating on a daily, this processed food, this fast food, this stuff is literally destroying our bodies. It's breaking our bodies down to the point where our bodies don't no longer know how to defend or fight for itself. And that's where you begin to get into, like I said, obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, heart attack, heart disease, liver failure, kidney failure. And all these things are preventable. That's the thing about it. We cannot continue to be stiff-necked children. All this wisdom, but yet don't have the wisdom to control what you put inside your body. Like we can't be one up by the heathen. If they choose to eat that way, that's okay. But as holy children of the Most High, the children of Israel, we gotta switch it up and take our diets and our health and our lifestyle more serious and live according to the scriptures. This is Sirach chapter 38 and verse 4, saying, the Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So, you know, there's many herbs, remedies that you can use to like reverse high blood pressure, reverse the increase of heart attacks and strokes, obesity, diabetes. Every herb, you just have to tap into the herb. You have to increase your knowledge in these things, increase your wisdom when it comes to your herbs and how it can heal your body, because the Most High created it that way to heal us. They're medicines for our bodies, and it's also meat for our bodies. So your diet, you're in control. Nobody's forcing you to eat the things that you eat. You got to be wiser with what you put inside your body. And this is Sirach 30 verse 14 through 17. Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. So you can have all the money in the world. If you're sick and afflicted in your body, that money doesn't mean anything. None of that means anything when you're sick in your body. We can't take our health for granted. Verse 15, health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. So health and a strong body is above infinite wealth. We don't care about that. There is no riches above a sound body, and no joy above the joy of a heart. Verse 17, death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. You see that? So that says so much within that precept. But you know, we can't just learn these things. We have to begin to apply them in our lives and just take control of our diets and be more serious about the things we put in our body. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 16 and verse 12. For it was neither herb nor mollifying plaster that restored them to health, but thy word, O Lord, which healeth all things. So most importantly, it's the Most High's word that's going to heal us within our bodies. But we can't do things deliberately, knowing the effect of what we're doing to our bodies, and expect everything to just be well, go well with us. You can't sit there and constantly stuff your face with pork and not expect somewhere on down the line, now you got all this salt and cholesterol done build up in your arteries, and you have a heart attack out the blue or a stroke. Like, you can't do things deliberately and don't expect that, like, these things to happen, because this is what happens. Just like you can't sit and just smoke, you know, whatever, cigarettes or marijuana or whatever it is that you're inhaling into your lungs, and then not expect to eventually have breathing problems or COPD or emphysema, or now you need 10 liters of oxygen just to breathe. Like, that's self-destructive. We have to be wiser in the things that we choose to put in our body. All right, let's repent of our sins, return back to the Most High, and keep His law, statutes, and commandments. Shalom.